I first fell in love with historical romance through like Alyssa Cole's books, for example, like An Extraordinary Union. And what I found they really came up against, Vanessa Riley's had this, Piper Hewley's had this, Courtney Milan, like they have all talked very candidly about how readers will contact them and be like, your happily ever after is impossible. It's not historically accurate. Your books are, historical fantasy, basically. And no matter how much they would correct the record and be like, no, here are my sources. Here's a huge blog post about where I got this history from, people would still just contend with them and say, this isn't real, this isn't right, because they have a conception of history rather than a truth of history. And so, one of my favorite expressions is some philosophical problems or debates should be dissolved rather than resolved. And so when you realize that people who have these historical blind spots, there is nothing you can say to convince them that this is the truth. They don't want the truth, they want the narrative. And so what I decided was I actually don't care if you believe it's historically accurate, but someone is going to tell you it's historically accurate. And so what I did was I invented Phoebe as an authority figure who comes in and says, like, these are the historical facts, this is the historical record, and here's how I'm fictionalizing it. I wanted a book that contended with both aspects of that debate and ultimately comes on the side of, I don't care. I don't care what you think about the history or how I present it, because I am also developing my own narrative, right? If progressive forces can do it, then so can I. And mine is going to be closer to the truth. But it's also going to be a celebration of joy and of community and solidarity and fighting to move our culture and society forward.